Hello, I'm Julia Donaldson and I'm wearing the special medal I had when I was the Children's Laureate from 2011 to 2013. And that's because today we're going to be reading the story What the Jackdaw Saw, which was written during the time I was the Children's Laureate, not just by me, but by some deaf students. I'm a bit deaf myself. I wear hearing aids in both ears, and when I was a Children's Laureate I was keen to create some stories for deaf children and with deafness themes. So I was delighted when an organisation called Life and Deaf invited me to do a workshop with some deaf children to help them create a picture book about sign language. They'd already thought of the title, What the Jackdaw Saw, and I just helped them write the story and then to get it published a couple of years later with great illustrations by Nick Sharratt. You're going to be seeing Nick later on in this programme and he'll do some drawing for you. But first of all, I'm going to tell you the story, What the Jackdaw Saw, by, wait for it, Alex, Christopher, Frankie, James, Jasmine, Gemma, Casey, Kaylee, Kitty, Lenka, Marcus, Michael, Nadim, Nazmin, Pierre, Ruki, Saifullah, Somaya, Sophie and Tanvir, with Julia Donaldson. The jackdaw flew over the seaside, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Waves crashing, children splashing, starfish sleeping, dolphins leaping, and an octopus touching his head with a tentacle. "Come to my party," the jackdaw said, but the octopus went on touching his head. The jackdaw flew over the farm, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Piglet squeaking, a gate creaking, cows grazing, a sheepdog blazing, and a white horse touching his head with his hoof. "Come to my party," the jackdaw said, but the horse just went on touching his head. The jackdaw flew over the town, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Buses rumbling, people grumbling, a taxi hooting, children scooting, and a black cat touching his head with his paw. "Come to my party," the jackdaw said, but the cat just went on touching his head. The jackdaw flew over a forest, and this is what the jackdaw saw. A ferret dancing, a deer prancing, a fox jumping, a rabbit thumping, and a red squirrel touching her head with her tail. "Come to my party," the jackdaw said, but the squirrel just went on touching her head. The jackdaw flew into a thundercloud, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Nothing. Jackdaw crashing, lightning flashing, thunder clapping, feathers flapping, and a brown owl touching his head with his wing. "Why Why didn't they warn me? The jackdaw cried. Why didn't you see them? The owl replied. Octopus signing, white horse signing, black cat signing, red squirrel signing, every one of them touching his head. Danger, danger, that's what they said. The jackdaw flew up to the owl's branch. Then, feathers twirling, wings whirling, eyes happy, feet tappy, the jackdaw learnt to sign with his wings. Come to my party, the jackdaw signed. Then all the animals followed behind. The jackdaw flew back to the seaside. Look who's there. Can you see? Octopus drumming, black cat strumming, white horse swaying, red squirrel playing, and the jackdaw signing with his wings. Then lots more signing friends appeared. What a great party! Everyone cheered. I hope you enjoyed the story. And did you spot that black thundercloud before the jackdaw did? I really loved watching Rachel Wilkins there. She's the signer in that little film you've just been seeing, which was the BSL, British Sign Language edition of the book. Well, now we're going to see some of the children who helped to write What the Jackdaw Saw, demonstrating some of the signs for the things in that book. Did you spot Nick Sharratt and me just then? I'm going to hand you over to Nick now to do a spot of drawing.
Thank you, Julia, and thank you for giving me such a fantastic book to illustrate too. Absolutely packed full of interesting creatures to draw. I'm going to draw one or two creatures from this book now, and perhaps you'd like to draw along with me. I'm going to start off with a bird, and I wonder if you can guess which one I've got in mind. I'm going to draw the jackdaw. And the way that I would draw a jackdaw is I would start off with the top of its head, which is a curvy shape like that. And then I'm just going to do a tiny little bump at the top of where its beak is. And then I'm going to draw a nice beak made out of two triangle shapes like that. Then I can give the jackdaw a nice round tummy like that, and tail over here, a long, quite thin tail with feathers at the end of it. And then I'm going to give the jackdaw two wings. So I'm going to draw one quite nice big wing over here, a curvy line, and then a row of feathers underneath the wing. And then I'm going to do another wing over here, another curvy line, and another row of feathers coming back to the body. And then I think we need to give the jackdaw a face, don't we? So let's give it two nice, large, round circles with dots in the middle for its eyes. And it could be flying in the sky, but I'm going to have it standing on the ground. So I'm going to give it 2 legs down here. 1 leg, 2 legs, and then add some toes or claws. So 3 lines at the front and 1 at the back. And 3 lines at the front and 1 at the back. So there's the outline of the jackdaw, and now I need to add some colour. A jackdaw is nearly all black except for a grey beak and a patch of grey on the back of its head, and also it has 2 pale blue eyes. Okay, let's draw another animal from the story. I think we'll draw the fox. So this is how I would draw a fox. I would start off with its ears. So I'm going to draw 2 pointy ears sticking straight up and joined together with a little line like that. This line is a bit longer here. Then when I've drawn the 2 ears, I'm going to draw the front of the fox's face, which is very pointy. So there's the front of its face. And then I'm going to draw a straight line here for the back of the fox. And then give it a really lovely big bushy tail like that. Foxes have big tails, big furry tails. Right, a straight line down here for the bottom end of the fox, and another shorter line there for the front end of the fox. And then I'm going to give it 4 legs, and it's going to be running along. So I'm going to draw 1 leg here with a paw on the end of it. Then a straight line for the fox's tummy. And then another line here, and 2 lines with a paw on the end of it for its front leg. And it needs 2 more legs, doesn't it? So I'm going to add an other leg over here, like that, and the 4th leg at the back here. So there's the fox. Needs a face, 2 dots for eyes, 2 straight eyebrows, little smiley mouth here, and at the end of its face here we need to give it a nose. So I'm going to draw a black dot for its nose and add some whiskers. So there's the fox all ready to colour in. A fox is a lovely orangey red colour, except for the tip of its tail, which is snow white. Bye-bye from me, and back to Julia.
Thank you, Nick. Well, one of my happiest memories of all my time as a children's author is the launch of that book, What the Jackdaw Saw. And what made it so special back in 2015 when the book was published is that the children who helped to create that story acted it out. So we're going to go back in time now and watch them perform What the Jackdaw Saw.
Welcome to our performance. What the Jackdaw Saw. Written by Deaf Children with Julia Donaldson. Illustrated by Nick Sharratt. The jackdaw flew over the seaside, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Wave crashing, children splashing, starfish sleeping, dolphin leaping, and an octopus touching his head with a tentacle.
Come to my party.
The jackdaw said, but the octopus just went on touching his head. The jackdaw flew over the farm, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Piglets squeaking, a gate creaking, cows grazing, sheepdogs lading, and a white horse touching her head with her hood.
Come to my party.
the jackdaw said, but the horse just went on touching her head. The jackdaw flew over the town, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Buses rumbling, people rumbling, a taxi hooting, children scooting, and a black cat touching his head with his paws.
Come to my party.
The jackdaw said, but the cat just went on touching his head. The jackdaw flew over the forest, and this is what the jackdaw saw. A ferret dancing, a deer prancing, a fox jumping, a rabbit thumping, and a red squirrel touching her head with her tail.
Come to my party.
The jackdaw said, but the squirrel just went on touching her head. The jackdaw flew into the thundercloud, and this is what the jackdaw saw. Nothing. Jackdaw crashing, lightning flashing, thunder clapping, feather flapping, and a brown owl touching his head with his wing.
Why didn't they warn me?
The jackdaw cried.
Why didn't you see them?
The owl replied.
Octopus signing, white horse signing, black cat signing, red squirrel signing. Every one of them touching their head, signing danger, danger. That's what they said.
The jackdaw flew up to the owl's branch. Then, feather swirling, wind whirling, eyes happy, feet tappy, the jackdaw learned to sign with his wing. Come to my party, the jackdaw signed, then all the animals followed behind. The jackdaw flew back to the seaside. Look who's there, can you see? Octopus drumming, black cat drumming, white horse swaying, red squirrel playing, and the jackdaw signing with his wing. Then a lot more signing friends appeared. What a great party, everyone cheered.
Wasn't that storytelling and miming and signing wonderful? And what great masks as well that the children had made. They gave them to me actually, and I sometimes act out the story using those masks. You might like acting the story as well. It's great fun to act, and you could always make your own masks. Perhaps do it when you're back at school. Well, that's all for today, but next week we're going to be celebrating World Book Day with the story of What the Ladybird Heard. Goodbye.